All right. When you are ready, please introduce yourself, introduce the run, give me a countdown for when you want the timer to start, and we'll get ourselves started.
You said right now?
Yes, right now. So introduce yourself, introduce the run, give me a countdown for when you want the timer to start, and we'll get started.
Alrighty. Yo, how's it going, everyone? I'm Cheesy Boss. I'm primarily a Sonic speedrunner. I focus mainly on Sonic Origins and some other fan games too. But today I'm going to be doing a run of Sonic 2, and I've been up all night. I'm stoked to be the first run of this for day 2 of the event and for the Sonic Pluck. You may be wondering who I'm playing as. I'm not going to be playing as the Blue Blur or the Flying Fox. Instead, I'm going to be playing as Knuckles, tough as leather, the Red Echidna. Alrighty. I'm gonna do a countdown from 3 or on go, and as soon as I hit start new game, the timer will start. So I'm gonna say on 3, 2, 1, and go. I started playing this game when I was about 8 on the original Genesis. I wasn't very good at it back then, but it was probably one of my favorite games at that time. And then I picked it back up during quarantine and played that a ton. But I didn't really start seriously speedrunning it until about 2 years ago when I downloaded Sonic Origins for my PlayStation. And it's been a pretty fun blast so far. Really makes you understand the game better mechanically and like how it feels. And it's really interesting to see how you improve over time. Like normally that level would have took me like 30 seconds when I used to play the game. Anywho, most of these levels are based on like 2 acts in the game. I'll pull off the monkey jump there. And at the end of this, every second act is a final boss fight. But the one rule you're gonna notice about these boss fights is they're pretty easy. Much easier than like the other games. You can no-brainer them. Usually takes about 8 hits except for the final boss. And that's the first boss gone. The first few zones here are going to be pretty straightforward, pretty linear paths. So I'm just going to be trying to rip through them as fast as I can. Knuckles here is very good with the climbing and gliding. And with his glide canceling, he can do some really fast spin dash gameplay, like you'll see in this level here. Here I'm going to be trying to speed through past this red spring so I can make the early cycle here, which is much easier with him than other characters as I can just instantly spin dash. I'm going to do a careful loop jump here to get to the ending. That's already the first level, or that's already the level done in 19 seconds. I'm gonna say the majority of these levels can be beaten in like 30 seconds or less. But once we get into like the later zones, it'll be much longer. Especially Metropolis Zone, but we'll get into some interesting details there. Chemical Plant 2 here, we're gonna do some quick level skips here. Switching layers right there skips us like a 20-second section. And then we're gonna do another skip here to skip that awful underwater section, where we can just like go leap all the way up. And then once we spin dash through here, we're gonna make it already to the next arena. Which again, all the bosses here are easy. You can just bounce on this guy and he'll be done. And I say 35 is pretty solid too, especially with the little mishaps I've done. Next up is probably one of my favorite zones, Aquatic Ruin. Mainly because although it is a water level, you don't have to go in the water most of the time. Although it is more beneficial for Knuckles to go underwater in the second act. This This was another one of those levels where I can just spin dash right through and blast through. I could have done a little bit better, but a 24 isn't bad either. Although this next route from the next level is one of my favorites. You'll see why shortly. When I first was playing this game, this level would always give me would always scare me because I would always be afraid of falling down here. But this is like one of the best routes for the level because you can just blast all the way through underwater. If I time the jump just right, nope. I would have jumped on that pillar and bonked and just slid right through here still without having to spin dash again. That's fine. Then once we make it to the boss room again, we're gonna give Eggman a little scare and bonk right. Oh, never mind. I wasn't far enough for him to spawn trigger. That's fine. Oh no. Oh. I say falling down there is like a huge time loss, but we're gonna make it work. Almost died there too, so I'm glad I didn't die. Rescuing all these little critters from Eggman. Next up, I heard that Eggman built a little casino nearby, so I'm gonna try and stop that. Because we don't condone gambling. This one here is a pretty easy level, but if you make any mistake, you're gonna lose a lot of time. But as long as you know what you're doing, you're not gonna lose time. Just gotta be careful right here. A few careful jumps here. Perfect. Then we're gonna slide between here and get past these. Oh. I was trying to get in between those bumpers, but hitting them is still fine. So we're gonna land with a pretty good 26. And although it does feel pretty slow with all these time bonuses, I do find it a little bit relaxing to just get off the controller and crack my knuckles and whatnot. This next one is pretty straightforward as well. Just gonna hit the speed shoes over here, and then just blast through the rest of the level. Of course, I'm gonna hit a second one too. Oh, should be fine. I'm gonna do a careful jump to weave through here, and get boosted up by these two springs. And then we're gonna see if we can get lucky with these bouncers. Which, I mean, that wasn't too bad. It was more chaotic than usual, but still got to where I want to go. Now this next boss was the bane of existence for me when I was a kid. Like, I could not get past it. But you can get past it pretty easily if you do this one little trick here. Although I was a little bit too low. Gotta go for the good old reach around, back and forth. Or if you're Knuckles, you can just glide and hit him. Still works. I'd say we did a pretty good job stopping Eggman's gambling scheme. Now usually this is where I say like the beginning of the run ends and then we get into like the more difficult levels. There's also gonna be a pretty cool trick here for Knuckles. Now that we're in Hilltop Zone, we're gonna be gliding through. Get to this top area. Grab that invincibility and then just blast through this chasm. And then we're gonna do a huge mountain climb up here. And we're gonna be taking a little detour than what most characters usually go through. Because we're gonna be doing a pretty cool glitch here. My favorite thing about Knuckles here is that he does a lot of cool like clips and glitches here. If I spin dash and spam jump, I should be able to clip through here. Yep. First try too, that's huge. And now we just spin dash here and end the level. Which 36 is a really good time. And I believe we got like about 3 more clips we're gonna be doing. So stay tuned for some cool tips and some cool tricks and glitches. This next level here is a little bit of a journey. If we get lucky with this slope jump here shortly, we might go the top route. which not. So we're gonna be going through this volcano, which we got the right cycle, so we can go up quicker. If I went up higher, I would have been able to skip all the ascension, but it's fine. Really good slide here. And we're gonna do a little fun trick, bouncing on the dinosaur head to get further. Now we're gonna see that instead of fighting Eggman, if we could, if I can pull this off. That's fine. I was gonna try and skip the fight, but it's usually a pretty hard jump to do. If the fight, but I'm not trying to die here either. That's fine. Now next up is another one of my favorite zones. Really cool soundtrack and whatnot too. And have we met the donation or the incentive goal yet?
I don't think so, but let me just double check in case we've had any new donations in. I don't think we have. No, we haven't had any new donations in, so we haven't actually met the donation incentive yet.
Oh, that's all good. We'll be going through the rest of Mystic Cave then.
Alright, so should I disable the incentive?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is another level I could blast through. I would say it's more fun because it involves more input and little tricks along the way. 33 isn't too bad considering the mistakes we made. This next level here, we're going to be trying to intentionally damage ourselves so we can get up higher. And then we're going to do a pretty swag jump here. See if we get a yellow spring flip. Nope. If I ran through and hit that yellow spring, I would have bounced up and did that much earlier than usual. That's fine. So, I mean, we're already at the end of this level here. That's the fun part of Knuckles. You can just glide around and spin dash as fast as you can. Skip all the details. The next zone here is going to be a little bit dreadful, but it's still pretty quick. For the next zone being Oil Ocean Zone. Most people are usually afraid of the oil, but here we're going to be trying to get through it as much as possible, because we don't want to go through all the upward stuff and whatnot. We just want to skip right through, you know? So we're going to go through down here, running these horseshoes, which we got pretty lucky with. Oh, that was really good. Now we're just going to skip right through here. One last dip into the oil. And now we're already on the home stretch. This fan here is going to push us if we try to go up, so we're going to wait till it turns off. Perfect. And wait on the screen pipe and spin dash to the end. This next level is going to have a pretty cool level strat too. And a little bit of a scary boss strat once you get to see it. For the intro of this level, we're going to be doing a huge glide off of this octopus. Then we're going to do one more glide onto this pipe and quick time spin dash. And then we're going to be taking a nice little glide through here. Jump over these octopi. And then jump up here. Skip that whole segment. Grab these speed shoes. And I guess I'll grab the invincibility later. I was trying to grab the one there, but there's still one up ahead. Bonk that hit in invincibility. And then we're going to go into the oil to hit this boss. And see if we don't die. Which we didn't. That's perfect. If I wasn't able to finish that cycle, I would have lost 20 seconds to either the boss cycle, or I would have like went too far and then died and lose like 40 seconds. So it's pretty good we got lucky with that. Next up is everybody's favorite zone, Metropolis. Honestly, it's not too bad if you know what you're doing and know not to get hit. But this one has a really cool glitch that saves about 20 seconds, I believe. Although I didn't do the best on that little button segment, we're still going to try and pick up the pace here. And we're going to be doing a skip here called the Rake Pig clip, where we're going to spin dash into the slope, catch ourselves in there, and just fall right through. And that skips a whole upward section that was going to be up ahead. We're going to do another climb up here, dodge these stars, get up the slope, and boom, we're already done at the level, which 42 is really good on average. These are where the longer levels are usually at. Like the next level will be around 40 seconds, or about 50 seconds. And then Metro 3, sorry for the spoiler, is going to be about like a minute and a half. Here we're going to do another quick time spin dash with the cycles and jump over that crab. Do some balances and we're going to damage boost here. Spin dash again. Glide cancel and fall and spin dash. Then we're going to take a little detour through this hidden segment. And then you know what? We're going to make our own little way up here with another clip, which happened first try. Oh, that's not good. Supposed to climb up and hit that guy, but that's fine. Dodge this little slicer right there. Then we're going to jump up and do another glide off of him. Then we're going to do another spin up this slope. Get a well-timed jump in here to keep bouncing through the platforms. Dodge this guy. There we go. Then one last spin dash and we're already done at this level. Personally, I think the Metropolis levels are more fun to speedrun with the mechanics and whatnot. And that's also a pretty good soundtrack. Sonic 2 has a really good soundtrack in my opinion. Next up here is a little bit of a scary level, but it has some cool strats. We're going to be spin dashing through here to make a cycle. If we don't make it, we are going to lose about 10 seconds. So we want to make sure we make it in time. Which it looks like we barely made it, but that's good. Because now after this, all these other cycles are going to work just fine with us. This level is mainly cycle based. Dodge all these slicers over here. Land on this button. Another quick time spin dash. Then we're going to do a little leap of faith up here. Dodge the crab. Now here comes the big scary climb. Where we're going to try and climb past all these stars. I'm going to go for a little swag strat and bounce off this guy. Which paid off decently well. Did a pretty risky dodge there, but it was all worth it. Then another scary glide over this pit. Now we're already at the boss. This guy may look all intimidating, but as long as we damage boost, he's really harmless. Well, he's still harming me, but I'm not going to die over it. Just going to destroy all the little Robotniks as fast as I can while keeping my rings. And with this last cycle here, I should be able to beat the boss. So far, we're in a pretty good pace. I'll say this was a really solid Metro 3. Now next, this one is one of the most boring levels, Sky Chase. Essentially, it's the, how do I explain this? The worst part of Sonic 2. It's basically an auto-scroller. Defeats the whole purpose of the game. If I can't go fast, I just have to wait here for about 2 minutes and 8 seconds. If we have any donations I need to be read or anything, now would be a good time too.
Yeah, we don't have any new donations in. But it's probably a good time to mention to anyone who does want to donate, then you can do so. If you're on Twitch, then if you type !donate in the chat, it will bring up the link to the donation page. So !donate in the chat. I'll just stick it in there now as well, just so that it's available to anyone who wants to go and donate. That will take you straight to the donation page, where you can put your donation through. On YouTube, there is a link down in the description below. So for anyone who's watching on YouTube, there is a link down in the description below for anyone who'd like to donate to the Everyone Can fundraiser. That will also take you to the same page. There are some incentives and polls on there as well. There's nothing else for today on the incentive side of things, but there is a poll that's taking place quite early tomorrow, which is the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. And there's a character choice poll there that's currently tied between Aragorn and Legolas on £5 each. So if there's any particular character you'd like to see in that particular run that's taking place tomorrow, then be sure to put your donation towards any character that you want there. It doesn't cost any extra to put an incentive or a poll to your run. It just basically means that whatever you donate, there's the total of that poll or incentive or whatever will just increase by that amount. The donation total you see on the screen, so that's £39 as it currently stands, is the eventual total we will be donating to Everyone Can, but there is a 10% cut that we take when you actually make the donation. But the total you see on screen and the total that's on the website is a total we will be donating to Everyone Can, just for ease. Just bear in mind that any donations that are made, we do take a 10% cut, but there is the option to add that to your donation as well.
The one we'll be trying here is called the Wing Fortress clip. Do one more try. It saves about 17 seconds of the run, if I remember. Quite a bit of time. But I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off here. Nope. So we're going to go through the regular route. It's a pretty hard clip to do, regardless. We're going to phase through that propeller. We're going to try and meet the cycle. And we're going to do one of the biggest glides in the run yet. Gonna wait up here, get on this platform, and do one big glide. Nope. Try again. There we go. And now we're just gonna be staying up here until I see a little bit of a budge on the screen. And once I see him like bob to the right, I will let go, and we'll be at the boss arena already. Oh, we phased through. That's awesome. Doesn't happen very often. Here, he's deployed a big laser against us, and we're going to try to whack it as fast as we can. Which we did first try. That's also huge. And now he's trying to run off to his big Death Star knockoff, the Death Egg. So with the help of our sudden friend Tails, we're going to be trying to catch up to him. Final boss here is notorious for being difficult, and for mainly one, it's kind of got a weird hitbox, and two, you don't have any rings for the boss fights. But I will be trying to do the world record strat, but if not, I will be doing my safe strat. So wish me luck on here. Now that we've landed in the Death Egg, we're gonna quickly meet Sonic's metal counterpart. Not Metal Sonic, but Silver Sonic. Unfortunately, he is also pretty weak, because all it takes is just a few bounces. Now that we defeated his counterpart, we're gonna be catching up to Eggman, which surprisingly he's pretty fast for a fat guy. And now the world record strat here is going to be trying to do constant bounces while not getting hit by the flame hit. Oh. That's fine though, we can always try again. With the safe strat this time, of course. It's usually pretty risky going in there, because if you go too far inside him when you're hitting from behind, you will die. Or if you don't hit it in time, the jetpack flame will kill you too. What I'm going to be doing is I'm also going to be behind him, but I'm going to be taking more of a safe hit. Just a little bit safe. That didn't work, so let's try again. Usually this is where all the time sync goes into, but I think I'll be able to pull it off this next attempt. Third tries the time. Third tries the charm, of course. We try and take small. Oh, I said this boss just does not like me today. I was practicing it a little bit earlier too, and I was doing just fine. But it's all good. Fourth time's the charm. Fifth tries the charm. Hopefully it'll be the last time. Or else I might have to play like super duper safe. Usually it doesn't take me as many tries marathon-wise. I'm gonna be trying to do this as safe as I can. I'm not trying to go too far over estimate. Usually I don't go over estimate. 6 tries to charm. Oh, I almost died there too. That was a lucky jump. Oh no. Yeah, this isn't going very well so far. So usually I don't get this unlucky. But that's typical with marathon runs. Always get the marathon curse. Although usually it's not supposed to hit me, or it's not supposed to hit as bad. Be a little bit more safe this time. There we go. Alright, and once the cutscene of him flying into the sky comes out, that will be when time ends. So it should be in a few seconds. And that's time. It was a pretty good run, but the final boss was much more of a pain than it needed to be. Normally it'd only take me about like 1 to 3 attempts at most, but 7 was fun. I want to say thank you to InstaSim for having me on InstaSpeedathon. And thank you for all the staff members who made this event pretty cool. I also want to say thank you to some of the Sonic Origins speedrunning community for this game. The names I'm going to be listing off are thank you to Von Ryder, Speed Egg, Rick Pig, Zeher, Inception Kitten, Bazoom Zoom, Disgaea Fan, Jordy, Tim Arkick, Melakira, Kings, Epic Mike, Lenny GG, Cubby Cat, Fire Tokai, Ethereal Manic, and Groovy. And the rest of the Sonic Origins speedrunning community, of course. Y'all are awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much for the Sonic Origins Plus run. The next run on the schedule is going to be Sonic Blast Man 2 Easy Difficulty. We're continuing the Sonic block of the marathon with Sonic Blast Man 2 Easy Difficulty. That'll be by Link and Meister. We will be going over to that in about 10 minutes time. We'll put the intermission screen back on and then we'll go over to that when it's ready to start. The start time for that will be 10:15 in Greenwich Mean Time. You can see the time as it is in Greenwich Mean Time on the stream as well. So about 10 minutes is when that run will start. So people, you have time to go and grab yourselves a cup of tea or something if you really want to do so. Yorkshire tea, of course. It has to be Yorkshire tea. In any case, don't forget we are, of course, doing this as a charity event as well for Everyone Can. They're a Manchester-based charity. They help disabled people to play games, and they've got themselves a gaming centre in Manchester as well. If you'd like to donate over on Twitch, then !donate in the chat will bring up the link to the donation page. There's a link down in the description on YouTube. If you click on that, that will take you to the donation page directly. And there are incentives and polls that you can also donate to on there as well. So if you'd like to add an incentive or a poll to your donation, then you can absolutely do so. It doesn't cost anything extra. It's just that the total you donate will be added to that poll. There is a poll for tomorrow's Lord of the Rings run, which is currently tied, and that's the character choice between Aragorn and Legolas. It's currently tied at £5 each, and we don't want tied polls in InstaSpeedathon, so please make sure to donate something to that poll at some point, just so that we have the community deciding what the decision of that poll will be. But yeah, keep the donations coming in. I will read them periodically as well, and the donations do go to Everyone Can, subject to terms and conditions on the donation page. We do retain a 10% cut of all donations, just so that we can help cover our own running costs of these events. But the total you see on screen and on the website is the eventual total we will be donating to Everyone Can, and that currently stands at £39, which is an absolutely great total. But please, let's get some more money donated as well. Every £5 will help to fund a gaming session for a disabled child, and obviously even more donations can help to get gaming peripherals, custom gaming peripherals, and other things as well, which can certainly help people to play games and to get assessed and stuff like that. So please keep the donations coming in, because it is a fabulous cause, and every little really does help. Thank you, Cheesy Boss, however, for the Sonic Origins Plus run. Do you have any final things you'd like to say before we finish?
Just want to say thank you for having me here. It was a blast to be able to showcase it for y'all. And I can't wait to see what the other runners will show.
No problem at all. Well, we're going to go to the next run in the Sonic block, Sonic Blast Man 2, very shortly. But sit back, everyone, relax, have yourselves a nice warm cup of tea, and we'll be with you in about 10 minutes.